Hello, brothers. Oh my god, I am not Hulk Hogan. I'm Liam. I keep on doing impressions of him, and I actually can't stop. Hopefully, I won't do any of his more controversial impressions that he's done over the years. Today's a rest day, so I figured what better day to talk nonsense, to talk about me. A bit of a understanding, a bit of a insight into like why it is that I do what I do. Because a lot of people think that I hate bodybuilding, that I think bodybuilders are big stiff idiots who are only training because they only care about themselves, because purely thinking about the way that you look is vain, and I think that's bollocks. That's not true at all. But it's not the approach that I want to take to my training, and also I have complete free will. You have complete free will. If you want to do a bit of both, then that's absolutely fine. There's this idea that you've got to put yourself in a box. You've got to have some form of identity that you're tie yourself to, and you cannot possibly change from that. Like, it's either you are a bodybuilder or you are a runner. Like, there's no middle bit. It's either you're a bodybuilder, like you say, you're a big stiff idiot who can't move, or you're a runner who's the skinniest little weasel in the world who you just fucking skin and bone. And obviously, that's not true. But that doesn't get clicks on social media. That doesn't get engagement. That doesn't get people taking completely binary opinions of that specific subject. And I just think that there's so much more to life than putting yourself into a specific box with your training where you cannot possibly deviate from that. If you wanted to focus on strength for a block, you want to get up to a certain, I don't know, squat for example, you want to get your squat, bench, deadlift up to whatever it is, that's alright. In the same way that, alright, actually I want to focus on me running a little bit because I want to be a bit fitter, because actually I've seen this that I want to do. I've seen this 10k that I want to do that's in Iceland and it looks mint, so I'm going to do that. And I just think there's so much more to life to like going seeing the world, going doing like different things. And that's not to say that people who are bodybuilders don't want that, but there's this idea that you've got to be as big as possible. You've got to be shredded. You've got to be like absolutely like the biggest that you've ever been. Otherwise, what's the point? And I just don't agree with that. Like, when you think about it, like, I think back to when I really have enjoyed training, when like there was never any sort of like question as to whether I should do it or not. And it was when I was playing football. It was when I was doing something that I actually truly enjoyed, because I was training for performance, training for a specific reason. And the only time when I felt that is through hybrid training. The only time I felt that since stopping football is through hybrid training and getting back into it and running and lifting and doing different things and pushing myself outside my comfort zone and doing things that are hard. Running is fucking horrible. Like, it's honestly horrific. Sometimes it's absolutely horrific. And other times it's slightly less horrific, but it's also mint. It's this really weird thing where, like, at the end of it, and not even like a runner's high sort of thing, but you do sort of just think, like, do you know what? I've done myself proud there. Like, I'm pretty buzzing with that. But when I stopped playing football, like, I got fucking massive. Like, I just got huge. I got up to about 104 kilos. I tried to replace it with bodybuilding because that's what I thought that I had to do. Everyone else is doing it. All my mates are doing it. All my mates are banging push-pull legs. Surely that should be all right for me then. I should be wanting to be as big as possible. And I just ended up depressed. I ended up hating the way that I looked. I ended up having this proper weird relationship with food where I would just almost like binge eat, and not in like an emotional sort of like a disordered eating, as in like anorexia or like bulimia or anything like that, but I would go through these periods of extreme restriction where I was just like, do not eat as little as possible, get your body weight down, and then I'd just rebound on the opposite side. I think, fuck this, I'm going to go and do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go and nail 15 croissants from Lidl. And I'd sort of go through this period, keep on going. Then I put more pressure on myself. Right, you need to sort it out this week. You need to sort your head out. You need to get shredded. You need to get as lean as possible, because you're horrible. You're disgusting. And this is what I used to say to myself. You're horrible. You need to sort your head out. And it wasn't until that I started taking running seriously. And also like lifting at the same time. So doing a bit of both. Doing something that satisfies in my brain, that being able to sort of do two things at the same time. I need novel stimulus. I need different things going on. I get bored so unbelievably easily. I find it so easy to go off track with things, to chop and change goals, and having that, doing two things at the same time really helps with that, because I'm focusing on two things at once. When I'm focusing on two things at once, that sort of thing in the back of my head of like, oh, should I be cutting? Should I be bulking? Should I be doing this? Should I be running? Like, it's, what should I be doing with my running? What about my strength? Oh, do I need to increase my rep ranges? What about training completely to failure? Am I doing enough volume? All these questions go round and round and round in your head. Eventually, it gets to the point where you're just overwhelmed and you go, it doesn't matter. And you just want to stop. And I think that hybrid training brought that back for me. It brought back that level of thing that I can almost like point at a clear goal. I understand that in a year's time, I'm going to be doing again what I did in July just gone, so the 24-hour run, and I know that I've got a target I want to aim for, and doing that and also working on my strength at the same time is two competing disciplines. If you work in top end strength and you're also working with like long endurance efforts, those are two competing disciplines. You work in two completely separate things, which is enjoyable. And I think that bringing back enjoyment in your training, bringing back enjoyment in your in what you're doing in your day-to-day life, that bit of time where you can spend it for yourself, where you're not dreading it, where you're not thinking, oh my fucking god, I've got to go and do this again. Bringing that back and getting you back consistent with your training, you will feel better. When you start to move your body more, your body was intended to move. When you move your body more, you'll feel better, you'll feel healthier, you'll feel a bit stronger. You probably look at your arms and think, do you know what, I feel a bit tighter, I feel a bit better about myself. And when you do that, everything changes. The first thing that I want to do for any one of my clients is get you back training consistently. Because when we try and do everything all at once, when we try and literally get every single variable, the most restrictive meal plan that you can, the perfect training split, right, I'm going to do 15,000 steps a day, I'm going to go to bed at 7 p.m. every night, I'm going to do all these things, you just set yourself up for failure, because there's so much pressure on yourself to completely 180 your life overnight, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. So like, getting you back consistent in your training is the best thing that you can do. The way that we do that is identify what actually matters to you. When we identify what actually matters to you, if you say to me, I want to feel a bit fitter and I want to feel a bit stronger, like that, and then I'll ask you the question, like why do you want that? And if I'm asking you the question why, we're going to get down into that deep emotional reason, which like blokes don't want to talk about. You don't want to talk about the fact that you don't feel confident in your own body. You don't want to feel confident. You don't want to speak about the fact that sometimes when you pick your top up from your belly like that and you don't really want anyone to notice. Sometimes when you're getting changed in the changing room and you sort of quickly whack your top on, people don't want to speak about that. You don't want to speak about in summer when you've got a t-shirt on and you look at your arms and you think, fucking hell, I need to sort my head out. Or like all these little things when you lay in bed on your side and you think, oh my god, I could probably do with fucking doing something about it. But we don't want to speak about that. You don't want to appear weak. You don't want to appear sort of masculine, because that's what the way that you think. Like, you think that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and it's just not. Like, I wish that so many more like lads would get it into their heads that asking for help and saying, do you know what, I need a bit of help with my training, I need a bit of help with my nutrition. I wish that more lads knew that that isn't a sign of weakness. That's a sign of going, actually, I need to sort my head out, and I need someone to help me sort my head out. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to say this without me sounding like I'm being clearly like almost not condescending is the right word, but like, oh, look at me, I've got all the answers, I'm perfect, because I'm not. Because I still fuck things up, I still get things wrong, I still like do stupid things when I'm not thinking about it, because subconsciously I just think, fuck it. I'm nowhere near the finished article, and I never ever will be. But I think as soon as you start thinking that you're the final, that you're done, you're the finished article, you're the perfect human being, from a training point of view, from a nutrition point of view, from a lifestyle point of view, you're just setting yourself up to failure. And I think once you reach that point, you just become like, almost, arrogance is not the right word, but I think it is arrogant to think that you are the finished article, to think you're like this perfect human being, because you're not. And I think that the main takeaway that I've found from being a lot more consistent with my training over the past 5 years basically is that I see a direct correlation with how happy I feel with how consistent I'm training. because it's that bit of time that you can spend for yourself. That bit of time where you don't really have to think about anyone else. You don't have to send messages out replying. You don't have to be thinking about work. You don't have to be thinking about just life in general. Spending a bit of time for you, first thing in the morning, before anyone else can get the claws into you. You can just sit there and go, just decompress. Just prepare myself for a day of work, for a day of family, for a day of just even like whatever it is. And I know that it's helped me massively. Like, when I look back now, like, I was definitely showed, I don't think I was depressed, but I think I showed definitely depressive traits when I was about 104 kilos, 110%. Like, I had just almost like a victim mentality, and a mentality of like, why is this happening to me? Oh my God, I'm the most hard done by person in the world. I can't stop eating. I can't stop saying that I'm going to change on Monday. I'm going to become this new human being on Monday. And then by Wednesday, I've fucked it all off. And I start to blame other people for that. I blame like the situation. I blame my work. I blame like anything else. The environment that I was in. Like, I would blame absolutely everyone rather than taking genuine accountability and saying, do you know what? I need someone to help me get out of this, because I can't do it myself. Rather than doing that, I wasted years and years and years of false promises and like missed Mondays, rather than just saying, I need someone to help me. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to appear weak. You don't want to appear masculine, because that's not what men do. Men have all the answers. We should know exactly what we're doing. And if we were all a bit more honest with ourselves, none of us know what we're fucking doing. None of us do. So rather than try and give it the fucking big one, thinking that we have all the answers, we don't. In the same way that, from a business point of view, I thought I had all the answers. I thought I knew exactly what I was doing, because I'm a man. Men know what they're doing. Men know business. And when it actually come to it, I was like, what do I do? And I didn't want to work with someone. I didn't want to work with someone because I was scared. I was scared that I was going to get ripped off, that I was going to get scammed. And it was the single best thing that I ever did. Learning off people who have done it, learning off people who have been from starting where I started and got to whereabouts I want to be. Because you know what? It's either I spend all this, like all the information that I could have possibly needed from growing my business is there. It's all on the internet and all perfectly there. But having the information was not the answer. Having the information was never been the answer. You could have Googled, even pre-AI, you could have Googled workout plan to run and lift 4 days a week, and you'd have found one, and you could have done it. Nutrition plan for busy site worker, 2,500 calories, and you would have got one, and it would have been perfectly fine. But information was never the problem. Information is not the problem that you've got. The application of it is. Someone to challenge your habits, someone to challenge like the way that you're thinking without you even thinking about it. The things that you do subconsciously, the habits that you currently have that are holding you back, that cause you to do things that you don't want to be doing deep down, because you know it's having like a negative effect on your health, on your life. There's no one to challenge that. And there's no one to say like, all right, okay, so why are you doing that? Why do you think that? There's no one to challenge your ideas of what you think you've got to do. Because when that someone is there, which is exactly what I got from investing in in my own business from like a coaching perspective, I'd have quit years ago, because I wouldn't have got that immediate return of trying to change everything overnight. And it was the single best thing that I ever did. Which leads me on to saying like, that lesson that I've learned is the exact lesson that blokes need to learn. If you don't feel like you've got any direction, if you don't feel like you quite know what you're doing, why are you trying to like force it? Why are you trying to like pretend that we have all the answers? Because like it's mad. Like that's the main thing that I've sort of like I've come to realize, like working with blokes. And believe me, I'm a part of this. I'm the problem as well. We don't want to appear like that we don't know what we're doing. And that sort of thinking is holding so many of us back, rather than just saying, do you know what? I need a bit of help. I need to get someone to give me an hand getting my head in the right place. Yeah. I don't even know what I spoke about there. I think that, again, like, something I'm getting better at is just whacking the camera in front of me and just having a chat. I think I'm getting better at it anyway. No one's watching it, but fuck it. I can clip it up anyway. But yeah, Thursday done. We're on the right path. You and me. We'll get there eventually. See you soon.